Audi has always been a manufacturer of premium mobility, and this kind of customer excitement and customer experience that you have when you drive a top-notch Audi, and maybe when you close the doors. We have people that really put a tremendous effort in the sound of your door closing. And this kind of customer excitement, we want to bring that to a digital service portfolio. And coming from 3 to 5 year product cycles in classic car manufacturing, sometimes even longer than 5 year product cycles, it becomes obvious that a digital service portfolio faces different kind of challenges. And we innovate on this field. We bring startup methods and startup mentality into an enterprise, and we create germ cells of transformation. The car itself is a platform for digital services. So your customer experience or your experience of driving the car, it all has something to do with how we develop the car, how intuitive it feels to drive it, which is an incredible amount of machine learning and simulation processes behind it as well, until it hits the road. Also, there's a huge amount of simulations going on when it comes to new technology and new parts that you need to test with a 1 million driven kilometers on it. Obviously, you can't drive that in due amount of time that you want to have an edge on the market. So you need to simulate a lot of that. So the one part, as you can see, is the development. The next part is bringing these services to a customer, and the customer is in the car. So updating these services in the car, and we have all sorts of workloads running on the public cloud, multi-tenancy infrastructure, also on on-premise infrastructure, and in hybrid cloud scenarios. It's more a matter of how do we support the entire organization with compute rather than what specific service is running where. We also have a transformational force and attractional force within the Audi group. And it's because we see ourselves as enabler for innovation. When we focus on two things that everybody needs, and these two things are runtime and security. You need a secure runtime to operate your application. This is something we provide to literally every project. Not bothering with security in a sense that you need to take care of that all on yourself, and that lets you focus on your actual business value of your application. This is exactly what we're doing here. So we provide the runtime, but we make it so secure, and we focus on interface security so it's still flexible that you can really focus on your business value. The transformational force in this is actually something different. It's that we automate through silos, throughout the borders of silos. When you expect a development team deploying something to a Kubernetes endpoint, there is a tremendous amount of friction in between these processes. You have, for example, a build process where you create your container image that you want to later on launch into a Kubernetes cluster. And literally there are friction walls between your Kubernetes endpoint where you deploy to and your code that you're building into images. Once you have automated through all of that and through the silos, which is an internal service owner organizing and orchestrating app lifecycle management processes, for example, and also organizing the specifications that we as an infrastructure team impose on the development team, that is often external. Meaning the orchestration layer in between is something that causes on the left and on the right side lot of friction because the service owner of the application is organizing a development team and organizing the putting something into operations process. And when we automate through that and we directly go from as one end of a non-existing end-to-end responsibility, we go from one end to the very other end, take this development team, help them automating in the best way it enables their business, consulting them on how to do it, and showing them the tools, the platform tools, the security tools, the dashboards, on how to really deploy frictionless and seamless to the infrastructure. That is the way that we evolve naturally evolving processes, because we first look at the people and enable them. Then we create the best tech, mostly bleeding edge and always up to date, together with them, and we solve their problems and their needs with it. And once we automated all that, we actually created a process. And that's what I always keep saying. The process is what naturally follows here. We go people first, then tech, and then process. Automating the process through the silos is actually a process that has been proven to solve a problem. And when you transform your organization, people first, people solve problems. When you transform it process first, people satisfy processes. And the process is not yet proven to solve a problem. We do use a specific Red Hat product, which is OpenShift dedicated. We will never do our own Kubernetes control plane. And that's why we're with Red Hat OpenShift in this case, because there's no sense in making this on your own. How would you differentiate your business by allocating compute in a different way? I just can't see the value add here for a business. The cars won't be faster because of your control plane. And you will not develop them faster. Any kind of runtime needs to be just working perfectly fine. That's commodity now. And all the runtimes, they do that. The differentiating factor in this partnership is something different. It's the standardization that we created in the VW group to enable project teams not on 10 different platforms. We decided upon kind of a standard. So we don't need to enable every project team in 20 different tech stacks, actually, because the next project this development team will do, they will have to deploy on a completely different platform with completely different tools. That is not good. That creates a lot of friction in the end again. So standardization in this regard was important for an organizational point of view. And I'm pretty sure that we have a wonderful opportunity in creating the best kind of enablement through the foundations of compute or of infrastructure, of security, of runtimes for development teams to really speed up their result process and create new stuff in a time frame that I haven't seen ever before.